Okay, here we go. This is my first top bar beehive. I built this all from scrap. I tried to make it look as best as I can. I want to give thanks to all of the YouTube videos that I've watched, because without you I wouldn't have been able to build this. I took a little bit of things that I've done from a little bit of every hive I've seen on YouTube, pretty much, even all the way videos from Africa. So I definitely knew it was important to have this the top to be able to open. I made it so the top can open, so I won't have to fumble around with that when I get my bees. My bees should be in tonight, and I'm gonna install them in the morning. I got the 1/8 screen bottom board that I put down there, and I made a board, as you can see here. You can see that I made that removable, so if I have to remove that, clean it off from hive beetles, I can remove it fairly easy without getting stung. So I got that. And I put several holes in the front. As you can see, I did make a mistake. I made my entrance way too big, as you can see here. So I stopped cutting and I just put a board in front of it. And I even made it replaceable, just in case I need to replace it for any reason, which I probably won't. Just put corks in it so I can control the flow, and I can control them, how they guard the hive. And I also put nails inside. I cross-membered the nails. This is about a 1/4 inch, because I wasn't going to do that. And I gotta tell you, I learned the hard way, because I built this inside my garage. And what happened was, a mouse got inside of it. Believe it or not, it hadn't even got outside, and it was cold outside. And I got a little field mouse that came in the house, and it actually made a little house in the hive. So before I even got this thing up and running, I had a little field mouse. So that showed me I better put cross members in all of the holes. I got top holes and I got your bottom hole. Okay, and I also put a piece of plexiglass here, so you could, for a viewing window. I don't know if you can see that. Got a viewing window. This also didn't have legs until about 10 minutes ago. I hurry up and cut some 2x4s into 2 feet long, and put wooden legs on it, because I did have it sitting on blocks, and it just was never even, and I couldn't. The more I had to shim it, the more it just got complicated. And I think the last thing you want with this hive while dealing with it is anything complicated that you have to deal with when the bees are coming and going. So I went to Home Depot and I got some 2x4s and cut them and put legs on this thing. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you. I made top bars. I'll show you those here. I made top bars, and what I did was I put the dowel on the top, and that way it's a little easier to grab and spin when I need to check the comb. And I ran tweed cloth across, and I covered it with beeswax. So that didn't turn out so bad. I did that so they could find their way, which way to make the comb. So let's put this here. Try to hurry this up. I wasn't going to make a video, but I think the bees are closer to be here than I thought. I'm trying, and I got them numbered so I know when I'm keeping a log, and they say you should keep a log, I will know what bar is having what problem or success, for that matter. Let's not talk about the negative, right? So, there we go. Now, on top of that, I also done something else I got to show you. I put a groove here. A lot of people don't do that, but I cut a little groove here just so it can sit on the hive a little better than just laying them up there. This way it won't slide back and forth like this here, if you can see this. Let me get my camera in here a little closer. So this way I can move it back and forth and it doesn't fall off. So that made it a lot easier. Okay. And also made a follower board. Actually, it's a follower feeder board, which I got an idea from one of you YouTube subscribers. And as you can see, a lot of people, I'm sure you're all looking and seeing, hey, that's my idea. Hey, that was my idea. Well, yeah, like I said, I put together all the people. If I'm doing something that you know you came up with, I already gave you thanks. I thank you again, because your idea is awesome. And I thought it should be incorporated in my first top bar beehive. Okay, so with this being said, I'm going to sit here and play with the rest of these bars for a second or two. Put them back in line. This hive has 32 bars. And what I did was I made it 19.5 inches wide, and I made it 4 foot long. No, I know it's not going with the specs from a Langstrom or a typical top bar hive. It's 10 inches deep. The sides are 10 inches deep. And I know I may have some problems with the comb getting too heavy and falling, but that's something I'm going to experiment with and check out myself. I seen a couple of guys on YouTube that they made their comb way too heavy, way too big, and they had a lot of problems with that. So we'll give it a shot to see. I didn't make mine as big as those guys did, but what gave me the idea of making it 19.5 inches was a guy on YouTube, and you know your name. I wish I knew your name by heart, because I would shout out all the people that helped me out here. But the guy, he made his beehive in a plastic food container, and I figured, wow, that got to be pretty wide, you know. But right when I thought that would never work out, this guy pulls out a big giant bar of honey. Worked out just fine. And I'm sure he knows who he is, so that's all great. Now, I made this a little short because didn't make enough room for my follower board. So that's fine, because I won't be using all the bars at one time. But this is what it looks like fully done. I can pop all the corks for you. Let's see how that looks here. Now, I did put a landing pad on there. I know a lot of people say it don't need it, but I watch bees in my garden and they look like they could use a break. So this is it. Lead Farmer 73, my first top bar beehive. Closes just fine. And, oh, what I did here, I used old fencing, just old fencing that I found. It was in the mark off section in Home Depot. I just bought that for like $1 a sheet or so. And what I did to waterproof it, I used linseed oil and honey. I know you're supposed to use a certain part of, not honey, I'm sorry, linseed oil and beeswax. I know you're supposed to use a certain amount of beeswax with the linseed oil, but I put hell, I didn't go by that. I put a lot of beeswax in mine. I think I put half a pound of beeswax in it. And it's raining right now, and this hive has been outside for the last 2 days in the rain. And the inside, outside, as you can see, let me see if you can catch a glimmer of the water there. I just brought it up on my porch to get it ready to put the legs on here, but inside is bone dry, if you can see that. Outside, even the top. What I did here, all I did was lap these on top of each other like roofing, and then I put I sprayed the what is it called, great stuff, foam insulation in between the gaps, just to seal off it from any bugs or beetles or anything else that want to come in here, and from the rain especially. So that worked out like gangbusters. So far everything is working like I really wanted it to work out, and that's it, I guess. I wish it was more I could show you, but it wasn't much to it. All in all, I spent more money than I wanted to because I wanted to look half decent. I didn't have to, but it turned out okay. I also I put this metal wire on here, so when I open it, it catches. That way I don't have to worry about that thing flying off and leaving me. Okay, let's close up this viewing window. And also for the follower board feeder, what I also done, let's take that out of there. What I also done was put this on the ground so we can get a better look at it. We like salsa, so we have plenty of salsa jars. Punched a lot of holes in it there. And what I did, I put some 1/8 inch screen at the bottom. That way, when I go in to change the sugar water, the simple syrup, I won't have to worry about the bees coming out and getting me. So I won't have to suit up if I just want to change the feeder. Because I'm here in South Carolina and it's hot, and wearing a suit, I know you need to, but if I don't have to, I won't do it. So there you go. That's the entrance there I was showing you. And they go in there and they go in this big box and feed to their heart's content. Now I also made this removable, the actual feeder box removable, because once this hive gets filled with comb and honey and brood, I'm going to remove it and place it in the back here. My last thing I'm going to do today is drill a hole right here and put a cork in it. So once they fill up this whole hive, whether it's in the winter or what have you, they'll still have extra food when things get low. That way they won't start building comb around this feeder. So after this video, I'm going to drill that last hole for my feeder box so they can eat when they filled up the hive. So far so good. I hope you like it, because honestly, you guys, all of these things are your ideas. I'm going off of what you guys showed me. If you have any questions or any advice or suggestions, I would love to hear about them. I know a couple guys are wondering about the gaps here. Yeah, I got a little happy with the saw there. So what I did to cover that up, instead of buy a whole new piece of wood, I just put some electrical tape right there. That covers up everything. That way no light gets in there. So that won't bother them too much. I did a little bit on this side too. Can't hardly see that. But yeah, so it works out great. So that doesn't bother them too much. So, again, I thank you for helping me out with this thing. I couldn't have done it without you. And it didn't take me long to build. Now I just hope it's successful. So, when we get the bees, we'll do an update and show you putting the bees in, me and my wife. And thank you very much for watching. Lead Farmer 73, and I'm out.